So I trekked through the snow and sleet to retrieve a special package that Zaw sent to me up here in Igloo Land. The package consisted of a mysterious letter and a curious-looking shard of glass with a few notable designs on it. The Fargrave icon, a lamp motif, a tree with golden leaves, and an unfamiliar icon composed of feathers and an eye. The letter reads, "Adventurer, gather your allies and head for the southwest coast. I'm investigating a band of my kin that has abandoned the pact, and I require your assistance. They appear to be searching for something of great importance. They're well armed and clearly dangerous, so be careful." From what I could discern of their plans, it has something to do with the fragment included in this letter. Examine it closely and report your findings to me personally in Grotwood. Perhaps we can solve this puzzle together. Don't allow any would-be Emperor or Celiac ruins to delay you, and don't tell my sister. She's perfectly capable of finding trouble without your help. Signed, Baragon. There's a fair bit to unpack here, so I thought it'd be fun to briefly chat about these ESO chapter clues and discuss some of the popular player theories that I've seen circulating around social media. If the name Baragon sounds familiar, it's because we ran into him before. He's a character that you encounter upon progressing through the Blackwood prologue, and his sister that he speaks of is none other than Aveli Sharp Arrow, a well-known ESO character. The letter references a southwestern coast, as well as Grotwood. Perhaps these locations will prove to be relevant points of interest in this year's story. Baragon also mentions that a group of wood elves have abandoned the Pact. This is no doubt a reference to the well-known Green Pact, an oath upheld by many Bosmer that promotes the preservation of the forests of Valenwood and forbids the use or consumption of its vegetation. The phrasing of this letter suggests that these Bosmer that have strayed from the Green Pact may potentially be the adversaries in this year's story, and I do hope that there will be a little more nuance with this notion. I think there's the potential for a thought-provoking old ways versus the new ways kind of narrative with the Bosmer here that I hope gets explored. On Twitter, other creators that received these packages were sharing their little pieces of this puzzle to work together, as Baragon suggested, and ultimately create a complete image. Here's a picture of it, courtesy of the Twitter user WeatherDragon. People have already pointed out some significant details that are present in the completed image and share their theories about what they might mean. PD Brierly suggests that the glass-like explosion in the center reminds them of Thoat Replicanum from Infinite Archive, and that this whole glass or mirror-style motif fits thematically with the identity of the new Daedric Prince that was revealed in Necrom. Others recognized Ermea's Mora's motif and figured that it meant that this Daedric Prince would be involved in the new storyline. I think it confirms what we already know, that this year's main story will be a continuation of the story from the past year of content. Jasmine Lutz shared that the breaks in the image almost line up with the breaks on the map of Valenwood. I'm not quite sure if that's the case, or if this was intended, but speaking of Valenwood, something that was noted by many community members was the 4 tree symbols. To me, these evoke imagery of Fallen Esti, often dubbed the Walking City, and the capital of Valenwood that mysteriously disappeared in the Second Era. Fallen Esti normally migrates to 4 different sites throughout the year, and you can even visit these seasonal sites in ESO, although there is, of course, no sign of the actual city itself in-game. Some people believe that this symbol here is resemblant to a lyre, which may be a reference to the lyre of Ifrei. Ifrei, of course, being the most prominent god in the Bosmeri pantheon, and his priests, known as spinners, are well known for their enforcement and preservation of the Green Pact through their songs and stories. Others have also pointed out that this moon motif resembles the crest of Skingrad, a Colovian city located in southwestern Cyrodiil. Do recall that the accompanying letter encourages us to head for the southwest coast, after all. WeatherDragon also took note of the lamp symbol and shared a section of text from UESP that reads, "The Order of the Lamp, sometimes known as the Lamp Knights, was an order of knights that acted as protectors of the Mages Guild. Perhaps this lamp icon is a reference to this knightly order." Hyperreal recognized the Fargrave symbol and noted that Fargrave is a gateway to planes of oblivion and perhaps even other planes. Maybe this notion can prove to be significant when it comes to understanding Fallen Esti's whereabouts. This symbol here looks an awful lot like the crown worn by Mephala, the Daedric Prince of Murder, Lies, and Deception. And this little icon resembles the iconic Ayleid tree motif, or perhaps it's a symbol for a great grot oak, like Fallen Esti. The user Mother Duck also took note of the strange eye motif with feathers. They believe that the feathers evoke imagery of birds, thus we will be getting a bird chapter this year, and even a duck mount. Memes aside, I'm loving all the theories that I've seen so far, and you already know that I'm super hyped for the possibility of a chapter that has Bosmer themes in it. If there are other things that you picked up on, either from the letter or from all the different glass fragments that I haven't mentioned, by all means, sound off in the comments and let us know about them. If we do end up getting a Bosmer related chapter this year, just remember that we manifested it, okay? We made that shit happen. Nah, but for real, I'm excited to learn more about this year's ESO content, and it does look like we'll be able to learn more about it at the upcoming global reveal event that will take place after the Xbox Developer Direct on Thursday, January 18th. I'll see you gamers there in the chat. Until then, cheers.